now on the big stage wanting to bring home the fame and the glory that comes with being a UFC global champion. But the UFC is more than just a game. The foundation of the UFC is the Fortinet Security Fabric, Fortinet's AI-driven cybersecurity platform. The challenge is leveraging the different products and solutions that make up the security fabric and apply them to a series of challenges in real time with skilled competitors to the left and to the right of you. It's more than just technology. It's about performing under pressure with the whole world watching. But let's get back to the championship and take an early look at the leaderboard. during the course of the next 3 hours, we will be introducing the different players to you. Now, as these things always work out, the technology that we were relying on to give us some real detailed information just isn't working for the moment. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. And let me apologize to all the players for the certainty that I'm going to mispronounce your names. Now, the order at which I'm introducing are the seats that you're in, have nothing to do with your place on the leaderboard. Spot number 1, we have Michael DeVilly from the United States. Michael, are you a Phillies fan, or is that a coincidence? In spot number 2, we have Jorge Navas Pinada from Latin America. I can see his face there. In space number 3, we have Adrian Treflo from Asia Pac. I know for certain that he's from Australia. And player number 4, we have another representative from the United States, Adam Kern. here we are on the show floor with the first interview of the day. We're talking with Jack Chan, talking about FortiGuard. Jack, it's good to see you again. It's been a number of years since the last time. So we just released the the FortiGuard outbreaks report. I mean, why should people care about it, and what does it mean actually?
Yeah, good question, Patrick. So FortiGuard Outbreak Service is like a free threat intelligence service by Fortinet. So you can you can subscribe on our FortiGuard website, and also we offer it in different products. The significance of the report, we talk about threats like AI versus AI, how adversaries and Fortinet use AI to combat cybersecurity threats, and what organizations stay on top with the attack and defense.
Okay, there's also an annual version of the outbreaks report as well, if I'm not mistaken. What were some of its key findings?
Yeah, some of the key findings, as I mentioned, like AI versus AI, how Fortinet and adversary use both AI to combat threats, and also the rise of OT and IoT threats. That's quite significant as well. And cybersecurity is an attack and defense game after all, right? So understanding threat landscape is actually quite important for organizations.
Okay, now something I know that gets a lot of attention is the threat map. I mean, what is that really representing? Is it fake, or is it real? Something that's happening in real time?
Oh, of course, it's something happening in real time, so organizations can understand the adversaries attacking, targeting different countries as well as industries. So understanding that is quite important for them to defend on the network.
And is that outlook or that perspective just from a Fortinet perspective, or is it representative of what's happening globally?
It's what's happening around globally. So Fortinet's got one of the best threat intelligence among cybersecurity vendors. We've been in the game for 20 years, so it's actually really valuable information. So please do subscribe to the outbreak service and the report on our FortiGuard website.
Oh, there we are. Jack, thank you very much. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hey, you guys that are in the audience side, the spectator, must be wondering what the players are doing, and if you could also have an opportunity to join the environment that they are at. So I would like to invite you guys to go to the VR booth. That's where you can use the VR and to join the game environment that the player is at right now. You can join the environment, and you can also follow the player, and then go into each of the virtual rooms that they are at, and that's where they are solving those objectives currently. So I would invite you guys to go to the VR booth that's on my right hand side, and you can get some experience on the UFC.
time for another update on our next group of players. In position number 5 is Frank Panada, also from Latin America. Next to him is Aaron Riggin from the United States. In 7th place is, and again I apologize in advance, is Amal Idahuela from Latin America. And number 8 is Alejandro Cesar Gonzalez from Latin America as well. Okay, another interview, the second of many. Here we are talking about a very innovative solution, SD-Branch. Now, you can bring together multiple products, a router, a firewall, SD-WAN appliance, switches, APs, and all of that, from different vendors, hook them together and make them work. I mean, what's the advantage or what's the key differentiator that the SD-Branch solution from Fortinet delivers?
Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, as you mentioned, Fortinet's SD-Branch solution is based on industry-leading next-generation firewall, secure SD-WAN, industry-leading as well, and FortiLink LAN. So the uniqueness about SD-Branch solution from Fortinet is seamless integration, and I would say organic integration of these new different solutions, underlying solutions and products, and providing unique values, unique benefit in terms of total cost of ownership, easy provisioning, low maintenance type advantages for sure, and giving AIOps driven reliability and high availability of end-to-end solution.
Well, a key part of Fortinet's messaging and positioning is about convergence. Where does that fit into SD-Branch?
So what we have heard from customers, and we understand it very well, that there is demand for ease of operation, easy maintenance, and obviously low cost at the same level, while having end-to-end secure functionality in your network. So that's where the convergence story comes from, and with our products, we provide the best solution that's possible.
How about the management aspect of it? You still have different things being connected together, even with convergence. How do you manage an SD-Branch solution?
Yeah, the beauty of our solution is depending on the scale of your network, scale of your SD-Branch deployment. You can have FortiGate, switches and APs, extenders as we just discussed. But as you move beyond, it's scalable. You can scale up, scale down. For example, for large-scale system, you can introduce FortiManager into the mix for managing geographically distributed solution based on the same underlying components.
All right. Well, Sandip, thank you very much for that information.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back to our players, because in this particular round, we have a returning champion who won in 2022, Ben Lahara. Okay, in player number 10, and looking at these videos, who would have guessed network security people would be so macho. In position number 10, we have Carlos Cardozo. In position number 11, we have Sabin Sonev. And in rounding out the top 12, we have Andrew Reynolds. All right, here we are. Chris, the main question for you that is on the lips of everybody here. What is CNAPP?
Yeah, CNAPP is Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. It's a tool that customers use to help achieve security and compliance of their application systems running in the cloud.
Now, would you say that CNAPP is a cloud product, a DevSecOps, threat detection and response, or is it more of a hybrid that traverses the boundary?
Yeah, CNAPP has something for everyone. It actually is a product that is useful for people who are both building and maintaining applications, so across the development lifecycle. It's actually like 5 products in one. But ops and security analysts use it to investigate breaches and other incidents, and developers and infrastructure teams use it to secure their infrastructure. So things like application source code, containers and VM images, looking for vulnerabilities in those, cloud services like databases and storage, and identities in cloud. So securing lots of different things.
So with all of that going on, I mean, what was the primary problem that CNAPP was developed to deal with?
Yeah, so CNAPP was built to both detect threats, taking action in your cloud, and secure infrastructure and prevent downtime in those applications.
All right, so here's a bonus question for you. Is its functionality, its use, restricted to cloud-native applications, or will it work for any application?
Yeah, it's really the cloud security of the cloud services is cloud-specific. But there are other capabilities like Kubernetes protection that you can absolutely use on-prem. So there's an agent that's very good at detecting threats wherever they're attacking. And the vulnerability detection in container images and VM images can equally be used on-prem, especially in Kubernetes applications.
All right, very good. Chris, thank you very much for that insight on CNAPP.
Thanks, Patrick.
See how easy it was? Okay, we're very nearly at the past our first hour, so let's take a look at the leaderboard. In particular, let's take a look at the top 10. Well, we can see beginning at number 10 with Josh Nichols and Dennis Holtzman in 9th, and the gentleman in 8th. I don't want to butcher his name. We have those 3 contestants, or those 3 players, tightly grouped together. Now, above them is Andy Scherer and Brendan Schodel. Now we're starting to see some separation develop, and particularly as we get into the top 5. Christian, Adam Kern, close to each other. Jesse Holm in 3rd place, but we are seeing some separation now. Both Sabin and John are starting to make a move, separating themselves from the rest of the pack. Okay, here we are with John Springer talking about something that's relatively new at Fortinet, and that's data loss prevention. But I have a fundamental question for you first. What is the difference between data security and network security?
Yeah, it's a good question, Patrick. And so data security, you're looking at sort of risk of intellectual property and sensitive data being exposed within customers' environment. And then what we do is help mitigate that risk and bring their sort of security policy alive. But a really important part of that is network security. So the sort of DLP features that we have built into FortiSASE, into FortiGate, and into FortiOS and FortiMail provide a very important part of the overall DLP and data security capabilities that we have at Fortinet.
Now, you mentioned a number of other products where there can be a DLP capability, but what are the key components, the core components of data loss prevention?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when customers look at data security programs, there are a couple of key aspects to that. So one is getting visibility and understanding how information is flowing within their organization. So where is it originating from, and where is it egressing to, and where is it being exposed to? So that could be, for example, an upload to Dropbox, right? You know, could be, would be an example of that. So you've got the visibility into what's going on. And then the second thing you're looking at is how do you mitigate that risk, right? How do you put policies in place that can guide employees to make the right risk-informed decisions as they're interacting with and moving around sensitive data and intellectual property? So, you know, whatever your business is, whether you're kind of designing cars or you're kind of a bank, it's really important that you can kind of guide people on how to use that information. And then the third part is where you're looking at deliberate data exfiltration. So this is what we call insider risk, where people are kind of maybe leaving the organization and then looking to take data with them because they have a sense of ownership over that. And so that's the third thing that we help solve for, is insider risk management.
All right, I'm going to give you a question now that you can answer with a simple yes or no.
Okay.
Does AI have a role in data security and data loss prevention?
Yes.
Well, there we are then. John, thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, I mentioned in the very beginning, this is the global championship. It's the finals. But how did the people get here? Well, each one of them had to go through a regional qualifying event, and we have one we want to share with you. So let's take a look at the 2024 experts in Prague from last year. Now it's time to talk about one of the buzziest buzzwords, so to speak, in the last few years, and that's SASE. I'm here with Claudio Salmon, and my first question for you, what is the difference between FortiSASE, the product, and Unified SASE, the pillar of the security fabric?
That's a very good question, Patrick. Thank you for asking me. So FortiSASE, it's a product that delivers cloud-based security. So it's what Gartner defines as a SSE, Security Services Edge. While Unified SASE, it's a more Fortinet construct that puts together all the product that allows to apply security to users, regardless of where they are, when they want to access any kind of applications.
Okay. Now, admittedly, Fortinet was a bit late to the SASE game.
Right, yeah, we
But-
started a bit late, I agree.
2024 was a big year for us.
Absolutely.
Recap some of the major innovations that happened last year.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of innovations. So in FortiSASE, we do a monthly release. So every month there is a new feature that our customer can leverage. If I had to pick like 2 or 3, I would focus on agent-led ZTNA. That is to address the use case when there are like contractors, right, for a company that they need to access corporate application, but they don't have a managed device. So what FortiSASE does, it exposes a portal that the users can access to, and there they see the application that they are allowed to access. So that's the first one. The second one is remote browser isolation, that is to address the security of uncategorized website, for example, or risky website. And the third one is FortiBranch SASE, that it's our teenage solution, that is the possibility to steer the traffic from small branches, where there are like 50, 60 users, into FortiSASE and apply the security controls.
Okay, well, like most things, that was last year.
Yeah.
What are you doing for me now in 2025?
So there is a lot of innovation for this year as well. So the first one is FortiAI. We have a preview here at the Tech Expo as well. And the second one is going to be browser security. So we're going to launch soon an add-on that is going to be installed on the browser to secure users when they access web applications. And the third one is what we call FortiSASE Outpost. So it would take a long time to describe in details what Outpost is, but the idea is to leverage existing FortiGate as a security POP, and they manage directly on FortiSASE.
So what you're talking about with this is really a hybrid environment.
Correct.
How the customer wants to do it, where they want to place security,
Correct.
it's entirely up to them.
It's to give them a choice on whether they want to implement security in the cloud or if they want to implement security on-prem. Exactly.
All right, well, Claudio.
And also, one more thing, leverage existing FortiGate, right? If a customer has a FortiGate, they can leverage and apply security and control everything from FortiSASE as a single pane of management.
So it's a transition rather than a replacement.
Correct.
All
That's
right,
correct.
Claudio, thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Shahir, welcome to Accelerate. Now, EDR is one of the buzzwords or one of the things we hear a lot. But how does EDR fit into a larger cybersecurity scheme or system or platform, whatever you want to call it?
Great point. So EDR is probably the most crucial product that you need to have within your organization. And the reason is because the endpoint at the end of the day is the weakest link within the organization, where users potentially click on files, open links, and do things that potentially can lead to malicious stuff like ransomwares that we see lately. Therefore, having EDR as your endpoint solution for security is probably the most critical critical product that you would like to have on your endpoints.
So you say it's the weakest link in the security chain. Is that because that's where the end user sits?
Exactly.
Now, has EDR made traditional endpoint protection products obsolete?
Well, yes and no, because there's still, I would say, the capability to detect the known threats, signature-based, which EDR still does, like FortiEDR, still able to predict or to identify known threats on the endpoint with additional detection and response capabilities, so adding the root cause and the chain of the event and what we call the
behaviors that the malicious act is trying to perform. So it gives you also the identity that someone did something malicious, but also the capability to perform investigation to the beginning.
All right, and didn't Fortinet bring some flexibility to this, that it offers EDR as a standalone product, but then it also offers an EDR capability in its unified endpoint, FortiEndpoint?
Yes, so I would say we provide EDR as a standalone product. We also provide EDR as a unification with FortiClient in what we call today FortiEndpoint, as a unified solution that provides access, security, and EDR as a single agent on the endpoint. And obviously it extends all the way to XDR, which is a unification of all the products of Fortinet Security Fabric for detection and response.
All right, you opened the door on that one by talking about XDR. What is XDR? I've not been able to get an explanation, a clear explanation of it.
So I think that you will ask analysts, they'll say one thing, and vendors, they'll say a different thing. Basically, I would say that the common answer will be that XDR stands for Extended Detection and Response. EDR is a subset of that. When we say extended detection and response, we say endpoint, firewalls, email, whatever you might have within your fabric. Detection and response capability, the ability to stitch and correlate data from multiple data sources for detection and response capabilities.
Is XDR a product, a service, or a concept?
So XDR is a full-blown product. As part of the EDR console, you can expand it to the XDR tier, and then actually you can get more data sources pushing data into XDR as a product, and everything happens in a single console.
Okay, Shahir, thank you very much for that clear explanation.
Thank you.
It's time to get back to the players, so let's find out who's in slots 13 through 16. In space 13, we have Lucas Prius from Latin America. Well, Luca obviously thinks he's going to go be number one today. But in 14th place, we have Tom Yukinen from EMEA. In position 15, we have Kevin Carroll from the United States. Finally, number 16, Javier Ravenel from Latin America. here to talk about something that you may be asking yourself, why? It's email. I mean, why are we so worried about it? So the question here is really about why is email security so important, and what's happening in the world of email security?
Yeah, so you know, email was always the most attacked vector for every organization, and it didn't change. It's still the same right now. But the attacks have changed a bit, and there's more text-based attacks, vendor spoofing attacks that requires you to use AI and machine learning in order to protect against those types of attacks.
Well, with more and more organizations moving their email servers off premises to cloud-based, think of 365. Does it matter where the cloud security product is based? Does it need to be in the cloud, or can it still be on-premise?
So we are much more connected these days, right? So you move to the cloud. That means also that you start chatting on Teams and passing files between people, and also share files in SharePoint. So you have to protect much more than just email when you move into the cloud.
Well, that's something you brought. You just mentioned SharePoint, and that talks about collaboration.
Yeah.
And recently, Fortinet acquired Perception Point specifically for that. I mean, how big is the difference between email security and collaboration or workspace security?
Yeah, so we're looking at the entire workspace, and my workspace is not just the email, it's the collaboration channels, but it's also the browser. And all three together are the areas that we need to protect. And when you protect it with one platform that talks between you know, the different channels and knows how to detect information from one place to another, that gives you a great advantage.
And what was it about Perception Point, or what is it about Perception Point that allowed Fortinet's acquisition to truly differentiate itself in the marketplace?
So with FortiMail and the acquisition of Perception Point, we can create one complete solution that there's no such thing in the market, and we can protect not only the mail in the best way, but the entire workspace of the users.
Okay, and is Perception Point a product or a service?
It's a product with a service that is included, but it's mostly a product. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for that insight. Perception Point is something relatively new for us, and we hope it keeps us in a leadership position for email security.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we're looking at the leaderboard right now, and we see the bottom half, or the bottom half of the leaderboard. But remember, everybody has an equal chance at getting ahead. I've seen people go through these things. But let's look at the top 10 again. Not much change from the last time we reported on it. It looks pretty similar, so everybody must be at the same level taking a look at some of the key challenges and getting past them. In years past, at the regional events looking at this, we tend to get situations like this looking at the grouping. So Josh Nichols in 10th, Dennis Holtzman in 9, Phi Fan in 8, Andy Shearer in 7, Brendan Schodel in 6 with Christian Graham in 5th, Adam Kern in 4th, Jesse Homa in 3rd, Sabin is in 2nd place, a position he's holding, but we have a new leader, Johan Spielberg, in 1st place with over 2,000 points. right, we're looking at our next group of players. Let's start at number 17, Alberto Mendoza from Latin America. And of course, in number 18, we have Myron Ashir. Excuse me, I will buy you a drink afterwards. May your mom Ashir Ratam from EMEA. Number 19, Tuvo from Asia Pacific. Number 20, Quentin Vandervoort from EMEA. And in position number 21 from Canada, we have Kevin Ducheneau. All right. With Fortinet, of course, we're associated with FortiGate. And the constant evolution of FortiGate is one of the key movers of the market. Here we are with Wei Ling to talk about the newest generation of FortiGate, the G series, what you call AI-powered firewall. What's so important about it?
Sounds good. The 700G is our latest on the mid-range FortiGate series. And what's really special is that it includes 5 GigE RJ45 ports, so you can run the ports at 1, 2.5, or 5 gigs, boosting. For example, if you use it to connect lots of APs, it will boost your wireless bandwidth for all of those APs. The 700G is also really special because we include a new special hardware module that's called the FortiSentry, and that makes it even more difficult for attackers to attack the FortiGate itself as well.
What would you say is the sweet spot for the 700G? Where in the marketplace?
This 700G is going to be really popular because it does like 26 gigs of threat protect. It kind of sits in between the 600F and the 900G series today, but it's really powerful and it has a very similar interface except for the 5 GigE ports, which are special on the 700G that's new.
All right, well, you're calling it, or we're calling it, the AI-powered firewall. How is AI being implemented and being used in the G series?
So the AI really comes from a lot of the new features that we have today on 763 and 764, which are coming out really soon. We have new AI application visibility, and we also have a new AI ML IPS engine. All of these tools on the FortiGuard side provide better threat detection, especially with the rise of AI threats, and gives a lot of better visibility, whether what kind of models, what kind of AI applications that your users are using, to provide a holistic approach for you to detect as well as block, threats generated by AI as well.
Okay, now this is one model. How extensive will the G series lineup be?
So the G series lineup, I think you can see from how we are factoring in G series 700G, 900G, and of course we'll translate into more G series platforms in future.
Wei Ling, thank you very much.
It was great.
Great seeing you again.
Great seeing you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
All right. We're talking about something that's all over has been around for a few years now. Zero Trust Network Access, ZTNA, or ZTNA, depending upon our audience. How would you compare using ZTNA versus what we've been using for the last 20 years, a VPN connection?
Very good point. So, as you know, Patrick, a lot of customers don't know all the devices and users connecting to their network, right? Most of the time, you just open the network access, makes their life easier, access all the applications that are available, right? That's the biggest problem with VPN. So we got the VPNs connected into the internal networks, and all the private applications are available. With ZTNA, we basically do the device check, we do the posture check, we do the identity of the user, and then provide access to specific application they need, not everything they need.
But doesn't it mean we have to use SASE in order to use ZTNA? Because that's what I hear, the two of them are synonymous with each other.
That's what competitors want you to know, because most of the competitors attach ZTNA to their SASE solution. With Fortinet, we have full flexibility. You can deploy ZTNA as long as you have FortiOS and FortiClient. So you can do it on-prem, you can do on cloud, you can do with SASE, you can do private SASE, sovereign SASE, any way you have.
So what are the key components of Fortinet's ZTNA solution?
So for our ZTNA solution, as long as customers have FortiOS deployed and FortiClient and EMS, they're good to go for ZTNA. You have all the features without any additional licensing.
And what does the market say about how we're approaching ZTNA?
Oh, really good. Gartner just came out with their ZTNA Pure Insight review, and Fortinet was the only customer choice for our ZTNA solution. And we got 3 times the customer feedback than our nearest competitor. So it's been pretty good.
Outstanding. Kunal, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey guys, if you guys are having problem with accessing the SASE portal, it should be back, okay? Should be back.
Well, as we're entering into our third and final hour of this year's UFC Global Championship, let's go back to the players and give everybody a little bit of screen time. In position number 22, we have Alan Baker. In position 23, we have Rafael Mercado da Silva. In number 24, we have Richard Selstedt. And in position number 25, we have Brian Bicknell. Ling, in the recent FortiAnalyzer big announcement, a big point of that announcement and its new positioning was a single data lake. What's the significance of that?
A single data lake is help to prevent data silo, and it have all your security data in the one place, serve as a single source of truth for SOC to detect, investigate, and respond. It's all about to create that complete view of your environment and setting the foundation for the AI-driven XDR.
Okay, now, putting FortiAnalyzer in the center of a SOC strategy. FortiAnalyzer's been around a long time. What's the sweet spot that we're aiming for with this new positioning?
FortiAnalyzer offers the right size solution for enterprise big and small. And it covers the core needs of the SOC. Right? So you can scale the deployment from the on-premise to the virtual environment to the cloud, and also can scale horizontally through the fabric of FortiAnalyzer architecture.
All right, well, it's 2025, and of course I have to ask about AI. How is AI being implemented within FortiAnalyzer to give it, not to give it a new ability, but to make it work better?
FortiAnalyzer introduced the AI assistant last year, and it helped SOC tremendously by assisting them to perform simple tasks, but it's all through the conversational style, okay? But however, now we're working on a new version called Agentic AI, which has much more power. It can, it's goals-driven, it can act autonomously, it can observe and make decisions and act. So this will bring the SOC automation to the next level.
So it's not Hollywood AI that tells us the attack before it happens, but in real life, making the product more efficient and better suited for our needs today. Is that right?
Yes, sure.
All right, very good. Lynn, thank you very much.
Thank
very
you.
much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, for those that had a problem with the marketing user, you should go to the geofencing and allow it all, okay? So if you don't understand what I'm saying, raise your hand that you had. If you had the marketing user not able to connect to the VPN, raise your hand and I will help you, okay? You have to go back to the geofencing and allow the Germany to be able to connect. You had that one.
All right, continuing our walkthrough of the different players. In position number 26, we have 5FAN. Number 27, Manuel Carrasco. In position 28, Joshua Hartling. In 29, Brendan Skodel. running. So here we are talking about SD-WAN.
Hey, Patrick.
And Andy, my first question, with all the noise about SASE, is SD-WAN running a risk of becoming obsolete?
No, I would say less so than ever, right? Because I think SD-WAN is a core component of SASE. It's the access piece, and with us, with secure networking, it's really a core part of everything that we do from a SASE, right? We're very interested in the secure connectivity from the customer's organization, wherever that may be, to your remote users. So it's really a part of everything that we do here from a SASE perspective. It's a core component.
All right, well, there's another part, another definition, because sometimes I hear SD-WAN, and other times I hear secure SD-WAN. Are they the same thing or different?
With us, it's the same thing, right? We don't think in terms of networking decoupled from security. With us, security is a baseline of what we do everything with. So when we talk about SD-WAN, there's no other way to talk about it for us than to architect it in a way that is secure connectivity between site to site, secure connectivity from site to SASE. It's a part of everything that we do.
So Fortinet's approach to SD-WAN and secure SD-WAN, how's it been received in the marketplace?
Well, I mean, we've been a Gartner leader for now 4 years in a row, and I think a big part of that has to do with our architecture. I always describe our architecture in 3 main components. One of them is that it's decentralized, so what makes us unique is we don't have any kind of dependency on a controller that's 1,000 miles away. Every SD-WAN device can act fully autonomously. The second piece is the secure networking part. And that's something that we give you the option as a customer to how you want to consume security, whether you want to do it locally on the box or whether you want to do it cloud delivered through FortiSASE.
All right. And the real key question for everybody here, how much does SD-WAN in the world of Fortinet cost?
That's my favorite part. It's completely free. So with us, it's part and it's a feature that you'll have 100% feature capability of with every FortiGate device that we sell. Completely free, even with the centralized manager, our FortiManager has the overlay orchestrator completely free of charge built into it, so you can make use of every capability of ours at no additional cost.
So if there was nothing else that this audience remembers about SD-WAN, what do you want them to take away from this?
That we are a Gartner leader for 4 years in a row. It's a testament to our strong and I would say just fan base that has always really been pioneering us from the very beginning. They've really liked our approach from an architecture perspective. It's secure, and of course, it's included with every FortiGate device, so it's something that customers can immediately take use of.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, remember everybody got here because they were successful in a regional event. Now we've already shown you Prague. Let's take a look at what happened in Las Vegas in 2024. Come on, Las Vegas, let's do it. All right, well, premature on that one. Maybe we'll come back to Las Vegas if time permits. Now here we are for what I think is the most difficult interview because we could talk for all 3 hours about this. I'm with Keith Choi to talk about something called FortiAI. Yeah. Now, my question is FortiAI a feature or a standalone product?
Actually, you're asking a very good question and very good timing. Right now, FortiAI actually is a feature across different multiple products. But the point is just a couple hours earlier, Fortinet just announced what is the new branding on FortiAI. So right now, FortiAI is into 3. So one is FortiAI Protect. So if you have an organization that you want to protect from the user use of FortiAI, then yeah, you can use the Fortinet product to protect you, and so that the FortiGate will be able to detect and eliminate the access for you. And another one is FortiAI Assist. That means the usual chatbot that you're seeing across multiple Fortinet products. So I think right now you can able to see quite a lot of demo example from these 2 years and also across the hall here as well. The third one is called FortiAI Secure AI. So if you got an AI system or LLM system would like to protect, that is the one that we use for. But I have to keep a little bit secret because that will be something will be announced tomorrow.
Okay, but how is all of this AI helping, other than being in the news and things like that? Is it actually providing value to what we already have?
Yeah, exactly. For the value, I can say there's a 3 major points. So one is to increase the operational efficiency. So as long as you're using its generative AI, you can save quite a lot of manpower to processing all the log in day out. And another one is they will increase the accuracy for you to use the tools to identify the threats. The accuracy would be greatly increased by generative AI. And the third one, let me think about it. That would be a third one.
Well, that's okay. I'll ask you another question. Is there a unifying force or something in common behind all of these different implementations of AI?
Yes, for FortiAI Assist especially, we are having the FortiAI proxy, which is owned by Fortinet data center. So it's already secured by the Fortinet premises. At the back end, we've also used the public cloud accounts owned by Fortinet. So we are using the end-to-end to protect not just your data, but also the AI compute from end-to-end for every single part of them. So
Okay, and as you mentioned, there was just an announcement released within minutes ago.
yes,
I encourage everybody to go to Fortinet.com and learn more about it.
absolutely.
All right, Keith, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, 30 minutes. 30 minutes left of this 3-hour marathon. Let's see who makes the big push and gets into number one. All right, half an hour to go, as we just said, and let's take a quick look at the top 10. You can see they're clustering together. Not much separation between number 10 and number 1. This is what the UFC championship is all about. It's when people, the last minutes, putting on the pressure, making that push to get over the line and capturing one of the top prizes we have for this year's UFC champions. Now, I understand we have Las Vegas back on the line, so let's go ahead and take a look at the experts where some of our contestants qualified for this year's final championship.
One of the unique things is it's the only place you can get these specific training courses. So they're all, 4-hour deep dive hands-on labs, SASE, SD-WAN, a lot of the cloud native and cloud training. Those have been really wildly popular this year. And a lot of the SecOps training also, helping people with, things like the SIMS or deception technologies. So really giving these guys, again, hands-on experience on how to actually implement the solutions and how to help help their customers see the business value of what our solutions help solve for them.
Let's get back to our players. At number 30, we have Andy Shearer. In place 31, we have Raphael Muro. In 32, we have Andrew Vinton. lucky 33, we have Dennis Holtzman. In number 34, we have Christian Graham. And just a word for Christian for making it in spite of all the travel difficulties. In spot 35, we have Matthew Panton Hunt. In 36, we have Manuel Alejandro Flores. And in rounding it up, in number 37, we have Tam Chia Hong. Minutes. 15 minutes is all we have left. Who's going to make the big push? If we look at the leaderboard, look at the groupings, particularly the top 3, seeing how close they are. I've seen this at events in the regional, that up till the last minute, everybody in that grouping has a chance to win. Don't put your money on any winners right now, but root for all of them. here we are with our last, but certainly not our least, interview of this year's Accelerate. The thing I want to talk about the most right now is something I have to admit I don't know a lot about.
Okay.
AppSec Cloud.
Yeah.
What is it?
FortiAppSec Cloud is Fortinet's application security service. So it's a SaaS-based cloud WAF. It provides WAF, API security, DDoS protection, bot mitigation, together with application availability and acceleration, so enhanced routing capabilities, acceleration like caching, compression, and really a CDN, a content delivery network.
So does this have any impact on where the applications actually reside? Can they be on-premise? Do they have to be in the cloud? Can it be a hybrid environment?
So it's a SaaS-based solution, so you don't deploy any hardware, any software. Applications can live everywhere, anywhere. So it could be on public cloud, it could be on-prem. Really, it can protect applications anywhere.
And is it, because I was talking earlier with some of our colleagues about CNAPP, is there any restriction with this solution that it has to be a traditional application versus a cloud native?
No, it could be any type of application. It could be a web application or API application. It could be a legacy application. It could be a more modern application. So there's really no restriction from that perspective.
So what is the, how should I put it? What is the legacy of this product? Was it something we'd been working on for a while, or did we convert?
Right, so this really puts together, integrates together all our standalone application security services that we had, FortiWeb Cloud, FortiGSLB, FortiGuard, Advanced Bot Protection, really puts them together in one platform as a single service. So it's really kind of the next generation of our existing standalone application security services, yeah.
All right, another question, a little bit off the beaten path. For the MSSP partner, how could they leverage this to add to their own portfolio?
Yeah, so MSSPs, there's an MSSP solution for it as well, so they can resell licenses to their customers. They can also manage it for their customers as well and onboard applications directly or through the customer. So it's definitely an MSSP style solution.
All right, well, outstanding. And again, our last but certainly not our least, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. All right, with less than 10 minutes to go to this year's UFC Championship, let's look at our last group of players, beginning with number 38, Jesse Homa. Number 39, David Cortez. And number 40, Johan Sloberg. Number 41, Josh Nichols. Number 42, Jose Urina. Number 43, Frank Rea. Number 44, Igor Jolie Silvestre. And our last player, number 45, Bradley Rutter. All right, everybody. It's been nearly 3 hours since we started this. We've seen scores go up. We've seen them stall. And now we're at the final bit. This is where it really makes a difference, where everybody is putting the best of what they have. You're winners. You had to win to get here. No matter where you end up in the scoring, you're still a champion here. Everyone here deserves to be here. And when you look at it, as I said before, we have an ex-champion here with us. Somebody can win on any given day. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the next time either. Now, the event has been brought to you by a team of people led by David Chan that have been working on this since last year's event and have probably already started working on next year's event. So before you leave tonight, please visit the Tech Expo. Take advantage of the time that we have here. Yes, the Tech Expo will continue to be open throughout the rest of Accelerate, but you're here before heading back to your hotels, before getting back on the S-Bahn. Take a look, ask that question. Go ahead and take advantage of what we have here before the event opens. But tomorrow, don't forget, we kick off at 9 o'clock with the plenary session featuring our key executives, including Ken Z, to give us some insight to where Fortinet is going. We know where we've been. That insight to where we are going between Ken and the other executives is such a key component of that opening plenary session.
All right, guys, I guess we couldn't play the countdown, but the time is up. So we have the winners, and then we will be announcing the winner tomorrow at the end of the plenary, okay? So you will see the winners on the screen. Right now, the top 10, the top 3 is on the screen. We have Christian at the 3rd, Johan from Sweden at the 2nd, and Sabine is the 1st. So tomorrow we'll be handing out the medals and also the checks. Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. It's great. Thank you.